friends, welcome to my channel Absolute Biopharma, and it's an amazing feeling to see you all back and watching this video. It's been a long time that I haven't uploaded a video. I think it's been a month that I haven't uploaded a video as I was engaged in some other project. Hereafter there won't be any break or a gap like this. So stay tuned to my channel. So if you are new to this channel, let me tell you what you can find on this channel. You will find the latest job openings, various trainings that are involved in biopharma, various interview questions that are asked in the biopharma related interviews, and technical content related to the biopharma world. So if you are a person who are finding or who are searching for these kind of content, then this channel is for you. So today's video is all about antibodies. I know that you already have an idea about antibodies. So as my next video is about monoclonal antibodies, so I thought to just prepare a basic video on antibodies so that you will brush up your basics. So let's see what and all are the topics included in this video. So this video is going to introduce you about what are antibodies, the basic structure of antibody, what are the isotypes of antibody, and some basic functions of antibody. I have prepared this video so that you will get brushed up with all the basics that you have studied in your 11th and 12th class. That will be very helpful for you to understand my next video that will be on monoclonal antibodies. So without any further ado, let's get started. So let's start with what are antibodies. So antibodies are the molecules found in the blood and bodily fluids of humans and other vertebrates. These are generally called immunoglobulins also. These are identified by the immune system to identify and destroy foreign substances to the body such as bacteria and viruses. So basically antibodies are nothing, they are the proteins that will help us to fight with various antigens like bacteria, viruses, dust particles and pollens, etc. Previously I was talking in very layman language. If we technically talk about antibodies, these are Y-shaped glycoproteins consisting of 4 peptides or polypeptide chains linked covalently by disulfide bonds. So they act as antigen-specific receptors on B cell and when secreted by plasma cells, mediated humoral response. So what are antibodies? You can say these are the molecules that are found in the blood that identify and destroy foreign substances. So let's move to the antibody structure. So it contains heavy chains and light chains. So antibodies contain 2 identical heavy chains and 2 identical light chains. They are bonded by disulfide bonds. They form the Y-shaped molecule. Another part of antibody is variable and constant region. So the heavy chains and light chains that we have discussed in our previous slide, they are again subdivided into 2 regions, constant region and variable region. So constant region have the same amino acid sequence while variable region have different amino acid sequence. Variable region are responsible for antigen recognition and binding. So next is framework and hypervariable region. So framework region is structurally similar, but the hypervariable region is extremely diverse. As the name suggests, hypervariable, it means highly different or highly diverse. So this allows for the creation of wide variety of antibodies and in turn allows immune system to recognize and protect against wide variety of antigens. So antigen specificity is determined by amino acids in the hypervariable region. So now let us see the antibody structure. So you can see the heavy chains and the light chains. So they are connected by the disulfide bonds. So here you can see the antibody structure. It has amino terminal and carboxy terminal, constant chain and heavy chain. So in heavy chain you have variable region and constant region. In light chain also you have variable region and constant region. So dark blue colored is the variable one and the light blue colored are the constant regions. So let us see what are the antibody isotypes. So antibody isotypes are IgG, IgD, IgA, IgE and IgM. So here Ig stands for immunoglobulin and G, D, A, E, M are the isotypes. The classification of the isotypes is according to the heavy chain that is present is alpha, delta, epsilon, gamma and mu. So, how the isotypes are different from each other? They are different in sequence, number of constant domains, hinge structure, and the valency of the antibody. So, let us see each isotype separately. So, let us see with the first one, that is IgG. So, it is the most abundant antibody in the human serum, which constitutes 70 to 85% of total immunoglobulin pool. So, the structure is monomeric. Nearly the size of this antibody is 150 kilodalton. It is a major antibody of the secondary response and has the longest half-life of 20 to 24 days among all 5 isotypes. Next comes the IgM. Here you can see the structure. It exists in monomeric structure and a pentameric structure. So it constitutes to 5 to 10% of IgG pool. It produces the primary response when encountered with an antigen. Here you can see the figure of the pentamer structure where 4 basic antibody structures are joined by a J chain. So J chain are produced by the B cells and plasma cells. So IgM has a structure of nearly 1 kilodalton. Next is IgA. It accounts for again 5 to 15% of IgG pool. Exists in monomer or dimer. So it is a predominant antibody in the mucous secretions such as saliva, tears, milk and intestinal juice. So it has a molecular weight of nearly 75 kilodalton. So IgD, it accounts for less than 1% of IgG pool. So structure is same as the basic IgG. It has extended hinge region which is very susceptible to proteolytic digestion by pepsin or papain. So the last antibody is IgE. It is very scarce in the serum. It is found in basophils and mast cells. It has 2 additional constant domains in the place of hinge region. It plays a very important role in immunity against parasites. It is associated with type 1 mediated hypersensitivity. So let us discuss some of the antibody functions. So the overview, if you see, antibodies are produced by B cells in the bone marrows, exist freely in the bloodstream, and each is constructed to respond specifically to one antigen. First, it has the function of antigen binding. It binds to the antigen, and all antibody isotypes have the capacity to bind to an antigen. So next is ADCC. So what does ADCC means? ADCC stands for antibody dependent cellular cytotoxicity, or you can say antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity. So basically ADCC is an immune mechanism through which Fc receptor bearing effector cells can recognize and kill antibody coated target cells expressing tumor or pathogen derived antigen on their surfaces. So only IgG has the function of ADCC and they have the ability to kill the cells. Next is opsonization. Opsonization refers to the process or molecular mechanism that uses opsonins to make a molecule or antigen palatable to the phagocyte. For instance, let us see opsonins like example antibodies bind to the surface of the bacterial cell. This makes the phagocytes interact strongly with the opsonins coating the bacterial cell. Thus, opsonins serve as marks or tags that designate an antigen or a molecule for ingestion and elimination through the phagocytosis. So basically it is a process, or you can say it is a tagging process where opsonins tag the antigen and they are killed or phagocytosed by the antibodies. So here you can see IgG coats particles for phagocytosis by a phagocyte. Next is placental transport. IgG is an antibody that is capable of transporting across the placenta from mother to the fetus. So this is the antibody IgG which is able to transfer from placenta to the fetus. So next is classical complement pathway. When antibodies IgG and IgM bind to an antigen and initiates biochemical cascade consisting of number of blood protein and leads to killing of the pathogen. This is how complement system works. Next is mature B cell receptor. When antibodies IgD and IgM monomers serve as antigen receptors on a mature B cell surface. Memory B cell receptor. When antibodies IgA, IgG and IgE serve as antigen receptor on a memory B cell surface. So mast cell degranulation. So when an allergen binds to 2 or more IgE antibodies on a mast cell and activates degranulation, which is the release of granules and hormone mediators, creates allergic reaction. If you see in short the antibody function, it binds to antigen to prevent them from entering or damaging cells. It stimulates removal of antigens and it triggers antigen destruction by stimulating other immune responses. I hope you really liked this video, and if you liked this video then do hit the like button, do give a big thumbs up so that it will motivate me to produce more and more videos. So do stick to my channel as I am going to bring very exciting topics in my upcoming videos. So in my next video I am going to discuss about monoclonal antibodies, and after my next video on monoclonal antibodies, I am going to bring you a very nice series on bioreactor in which I am going to discuss everything regarding bioprocess engineering, bioreactor, what are the utilities, how bioreactor works, what are the parts, how the fermentation batches are carried out in the bioreactor, and a lot more. So thank you so much for watching my channel, sticking to my channel and subscribing to my channel. And if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, and you can post in the comment section like if you have any topics in your mind, so that I will get an idea and I will try to prepare a video on that. So stay tuned to my channel. Till then, have a great day.